Tell me about yourself.
Yeah. First of all, sir, thank you for conducting my interview and giving me opportunity to introduce myself. My name is 𝗖𝐶𝐻 𝗨𝐴𝐻𝐵 𝗨𝐻, born and brought up in a small village of Jalna district, but currently staying in Pune. And about my education, like I have completed Bachelor's of Science from Dr. 𝗏𝐵𝐻𝐵 𝗏𝐻𝐵 Marathwada University, Aurangabad. And from last 5 to 6 months, I started learning programming languages, and in that programming language, I learned Java and Java concept. That's all about myself.
What is polymorphism?
Polymorphism means one entity have many forms, and which behaves differently different times. So like polymorphism, we are humans. We behave differently, like as a father, as a employee, etc. And in the definition form, one entity behaves differently in different cases. That's called as a polymorphism. And polymorphism has two types. Which first one is a runtime polymorphism, and second one is a compile time polymorphism. By using method overriding, we can achieve runtime polymorphism, and using method overloading, we can achieve compile time polymorphism. In method overriding, we need extend keyword and same method signature. But in the method overloading, it can be happening in the same class. The difference is we need to change parameters of methods. That's all about polymorphism.
What is the difference between overloading and overriding? When to use what?
Okay. Whenever suppose we have to add some extra features in method, that time we use method overloading. And if we have to change method, we can say as a method. Method operations, we can say as a method operation. We have to suppose we have one method which is doing some addition operation, and if we have to with the same method we have to do some other operations like subtraction, multiplication. That time we can use method overriding.
Great. Yeah. Good. When to use static and when to use final? Static keyword and final keyword. When to use what?
Static is used with variable as well as methods. And if static use it, when static, we use static because if we use some codes repeatedly, then the memory wastage will be more at that time. Or we can say one code we have to want it repeatedly, that time we use static. Or if static finally is used, some data is proper and completed or constant, at that time we can use final.
So you want to say static we need to use if our task is repeated?
Yes. No, start is not repeated. Some static is some variables method. We have to use it repeatedly. At that time we can use static keyword.
Repeatedly means what?
Repeatedly means every time we have to create that particular code for every data. Suppose we have to create JDBC connections, like, and every time we create a new class, at that time we have to create that particular every time. Or we can use with the help of new keyword, we can also do that, but the memory wastage is more instead of static keyword. If we use static keyword, then memory wastage will less. That time we can use static keyword. And final, sometimes we don't want to, some data is our complete, we can use final.
If I would be giving answer for this question about static and final, static means like if we want to use latest value, means multiple times we create an object. If variable is not a static, then multiple copies will be created. But variable is static, single copy will get created. And from anywhere, if we want to use that variable, then latest value will be picked. So that is what the use of static. One more thing what I can say is static we can use static if static variable we can use if we want to call that variable by using a this thing
Method.
no class
name, sir.
Then we use static.
Yes.
Similarly, final when to use if we don't want to change a variable we use final. Yes. If we don't want to override method then we use final. If we don't want to extend a class then we use final. So answer should be so refined.
Okay.
So crystal clear. What you are saying was very correct, but it was too blurry. Okay, so it should be very strict.